Wow. Hey there. Sorry I'm late. What else is new? Very bright light under here. I'm just waiting for everybody to come on. If you're here, make sure to give a thumbs up. And great topic today. Never really thought about it until some patron of mine, thank you, patron Neil, told me when cougars hang out. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about that, but it's true. So I'm going to wait to give you that little special information. And that also will be in my book. Let me see if I can find that right now for you. Let's say, I'm just waiting here to find where that was. Aha. Okay. Okay. Is everybody there? So, okay, here's what my patron wrote, and I would like to discuss it with you. He said, first of all, he's in sales, and so that helps a lot. And when you're in sales, the first thing you do is you research the place that you're going to be going into the sales office. You research the people, the culture, what type of, what is their philosophy. And he does the same thing when he researches like what bar he's going to go to, what restaurant he's going to hang out in. So he does his background information to find out who is there. And when is like you can, a lot of times you can look on Yelp or one of these kind of, websites that kind of gives you reviews of restaurants and bars. And you could see a lot of information just on those type of websites, but also you can see when their most popular hours are. And and I was thinking about this when I was younger, like in my 20s, I would go out I'd start partying at 11 o'clock at night. You'd start pre-gaming at 9 or 10, but you'd actually start partying and going places around 11. And it wouldn't really get hopping in some of the places I went to until midnight or later. And that's absolutely true in a lot of cultures like Argentina and places like that. But in the United States, older women tend to go night at some point. They don't stay out all night anymore. They have kids to go home to or work or whatever the next day. So the information that he has here is very valuable. So he does his research, and he said, let's see here. Okay, so here's what he says. He's in sales. I need to do my homework before I go to an office. I need to know the demographics of the office, the income. I try to know a little bit about the area for small talk and general topics to make conversation. Also, I make sure to look presentable. I work out. I buy nice watches, shoes, have my car washed. It's basically all selling myself without opening my mouth. I thought that was cool. Like a lot of it is first impressions, right? Your first appearance. So you want to make sure that you don't even have to say anything, but you're going to give a certain look. Okay. And I apply some of that in the cougar field. Not saying cougars are materialistic, but cougars, I feel, want a man. They like younger men, but the key word is men, not someone that acts like their son. Do you understand what he's saying? And he's in his 20s. So he's saying that although cougars are not into the money thing, but they are into someone who looks presentable, which I've been talking about a lot with everybody here. But the other part he's saying is the friends that he has who like younger women go to bars after 11 p.m. So the time is important because I like older women. I would go out for happy hour. That's very key, by the way. Women like happy hour. A lot of times I'd see cougars that would be out for happy and stay out for dinner and drinks. And the peak cougar time would range from 7 to before 11. Cougars at these places I've been to are leaving the bar at 11. Most of their night has happened, and the amazing thing is that it's still an action-packed night. Location is important. Also knowing the attire. I looked online about where cougar bars could be. If a bar tends to draw an early 20s crowd with loud music and it's packed, then you're more likely not going to find a sophisticated cougar there. That gives you a ton of information. I've been asked those kind of questions all the freaking time, and that should give you guys. I say the most common question I get asked is, "Where can I meet a cougar?" And the second would be how to approach the person once I'm there. And we'll get more information from that Cub Neil in a little in another video. But for now, just let's say that is valuable information for you all. And hello to everyone here. Sorry, I haven't individually said hello. I want to also give a special shout out to my latest patrons. My patrons are just growing in numbers, and I'm really appreciative. Lucio, Pira Gorgio, Josh. I'm probably missing like a bunch more here. Let's see who else. Oh, shoot. Okay, so patron, while I'm finding out who these latest patrons are. Patrons are members of my page that have a subscription, and so they pay like a monthly fee, like maybe $5, $25, whatever it is, and they get special stuff depending on what level. So if you're at a level we're just very low and you just want to talk and see some pictures, that's great. We talk a message back and forth. But if you're at a higher level, you'll get like better pictures and not porn at all, not anything PG-13 or above, but just like more intimate pictures, or videos that are about my feelings or talking to me more intimately. We have once a month chat on by the telephone or whatever. So a patron is a great place to support all creators, especially ones who aren't making any money from YouTube or these other places that usually get monetization. Okay, back to what I was saying. So what are some of your questions about that? I'm going to go through some of these on YouTube first. So good morning to everyone, of course. I'm a little earlier today because I'm in Chicago. Let's see. Where can I meet one? God of War. Okay, so in keeping with that, I mean, he's mentioning that what he does is he researches the different area bars and restaurants that older women hang out. And I think that's a really good place for you guys to start. And so, hi to all. Let's see. Why don't I make a DVD? My advice is great. Oh, no, I on my website, KarenLeePotter.com, I've already got videos called How to Catch a Cougar and How to Make a Cougar Purr, and a few other videos for sale that I've done on collab with other cougars and other cubs. So check those out. It's on KarenLeePotter.com. I'm going to put it right here so you can buy those. It's a great way, of course, to get the stuff that's not on my YouTube, and it is good stuff, I have to say. I put a lot of effort into the things that I am selling. So it's KarenLeePotter.com. Pretty much my name.com. Okay. So any questions about what we were talking about in terms of what to wear, time of day, where to go, what to say, any of that kind of stuff? I liked what Cub Neil said about like doing some preparation work. First of all, the most important thing that you need to prepare for is yourself. Make sure that you're mentally and physically in a good place, obviously. But once, look at this, these got red stripes all over the place here. But once you have determined like the time, the place, and all that kind of stuff, once you've gotten yourself in a good mental frame of mind and physically you're looking like a man, like we said, not like a boy, then we go to phase 2, which is, finding the right place and going in there and looking like a man. Look like a man. Okay. So what questions do you guys have that I have not answered or haven't addressed yet? I'm your dream. Thank you, Alex. Let's see. Do you want to go out with me on a date? Chum of it. Is that whatever? No. I'm been in a relationship for 10 and a half years. Let's see. And the people that say to me, stand up and all that kind of stuff is that, you're just being very rude. I know you mean nothing by it, Shing honey, but it really is very childish childish. I don't know if that's the word. Let's see. If men don't know how to dress, that's super sad. Well, when I say dress, I mean, listen, if you're young, you just graduated college, you're used to wearing a lot of fraternity stuff and all that kind of stuff, that might work for girls that age, obviously. But it's when you're trying to attract older women, you don't want to look like you're just fresh out of the college. Uh, are shorts okay on those hot summer nights? Of course, Paul, you know that. No, I'm not going to marry you, Sammy. And I appreciate all the compliments here. Let's see. Come to New York. I've been to New York. Uh, who seems narcissistic, Brian? Uh, can I hook you up? That's another question I get all the time. Can I hook people up with my friends? No, I'm not going to hook you up with your friends. You can do this on your own. You don't need me to do this. All of you have the capability of doing everything I just said. So we can start at square one. But square one is like, okay, let's make you confident. The most important thing that you guys can do for yourself right now is to be confident. How do you get confidence? A lot of the things I've talked about over the last several months about making yourself think about all the positive aspects to yourself. So if you know that you are X, Y, and Z, write them on a post-it note, put it on your wall so you look at it. Because sometimes you can get down on yourself. And a lot of guys here are like, saying like, I want this older woman and I want, and she could be 3 years older or 15 years older. It doesn't really matter. But how do I do it? And I'm writing a book called The Secrets to Dating Older Women, which, I'm hoping all you guys here are going to end up buying. But a lot of the comments will be in the book from these questions I'm getting here. The main thing is I'm trying to say is that get your confidence going first. I'm an entrepreneur, got my own company. I love your advice. That's why I watch. I understand why younger guys dress like that, but most men my age don't know how to treat or talk to females. So, okay. So obviously, if you're talking to an older woman, you're going to have to first and foremost give attention to her and make it sure it's special. Very important is to not look at your phone, not look around the room for something better, and just talk about yourself. All those things are really bad. Do's and don'ts. Those are the don'ts. You want to really give that person the special attention. That's really, really important. And it's cool, God of War, that you are, a go-getter and self-starter and all that kind of stuff. And that you kind of know, what to do, what to wear, whatever. So what is your question then? What are the things that you're wondering about? Josiah, really, it's all in your mind, guys. Don't make it complicated. As a man, you take the chance. Two things can happen. It can happen or it cannot. And that's when the 5-second rule comes in. Exactly. So, you can decide. Now, remember, the 5-second rule we've talked about so many times, but it really applies here to going up and approaching women in general. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter how young they are. What matters is the way you don't let your brain in 5 seconds determine not to do it, because your brain is going to talk you out of it. Your brain is going to be like, I'm not feeling secure with myself. She's going to turn me down. She looks like she's, a 10 and I feel like a 3 right now. Any of these things can happen in the 5 seconds. So you want to, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, in those 5 seconds, you need to act. You need to push yourself, like almost like if someone came up behind you and gave you a shove. That's what has to happen. I know that whenever I see like a celebrity that I want to talk to, the first thing I'm going to do is, and within the 5 seconds, think of all the reasons I shouldn't go up and talk to that person. And then if somebody would push me, just say, go for it, I would do it. Right. So I have to kind of think in my head, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act, just do it. Because usually if you act, first of all, you're going to miss every shot you don't take, right? If you don't try, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you just kind of like pretend there's a little, like a best friend that's going to give you a shove, go for it. And you push yourself to go up and walk up and talk to a woman. I mean, the worst that can happen is she's saying, I'm in a relationship, I'm busy, I'm not interested, whatever. So what? You get used to that. It's part of life. Rejection is part of life. Don't take it personally. Josiah, what you wear is important, but if you have to ask what to wear, be presentable, then you shouldn't be worrying about anyone but yourself for now. No, I mean, it's always good to get someone's second opinion. If you have a friend that's especially a woman, ask her what to wear. Sometimes people just don't know. I this morning I was texting one of my daughter's friends and asking her which clothes I should get rid of in my closet because I don't always know the current styles. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. I love your words with 2 hearts in red. Oh, that's sweet. I like Cougar woman and live in Vancouver, Canada. I'm 23 years old, man. Okay, Bobby, how's it going in Canada? I love you guys all too. As men, we need to make a strong comeback. I love to help out men to be strong again. I learned from a mentor and I have sex with ladies youngest 34, oldest 52. Men need to be men again. Yes. With all the stuff that's going on around in the world and things are changing so rapidly, with the Me Too movement, with feminist movement, with the men feeling like there's these MGTOW guys, and they're always writing nasty things about how much they hate women and how much they've been ruined by women, how much women have taken their money, they've been divorced, they make them pay for their kids, and all this other stuff. Bottom line is there's still plenty of wonderful women out there, and there's still wonderful guys like you out there. So don't listen to all that negativity. Just focus on what you can do to make things better for you. Hi, CKA85. Ant 69, Age of Aquarius. There is a name, man. Okay, but I agree with you, Josiah. We need to make ourselves strong again. Young guys do too much. They have no experience, I guess. I always dated older women since junior high. I'm more of a suit and tie and Rolex submariner type. Okay. Submariner type, not submariner. I don't know. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I don't agree with him on having to wear an expensive watch. Brian, okay, you don't need the expensive watch. What he's trying to say is you don't need expensive things. I agree 100% with Brian on this one. But what this particular guy, Neil, wrote had to do with when he's walking into a sales job, you want to look like you want to look presentable, like you know what you're talking about, and you want to look the part of someone who's of the level of the people that you're working with. So if you're working with a bunch of doctors, for example, they may be impressed that you're wearing a nice watch because it shows that you are selling a good, expensive product. But for women, you're right that you don't need to wear expensive clothing, but you have to look the part. You cannot look like a young boy. That's all I think he was trying to say. Stay in the now. You got it. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Humor goes a long way. Personality is key to dating older women. Brian, agreed. Humor is super important. Confidence, personality, and humor. You were absolutely right. Although you still need to do those other things. Those are key. You don't need a fancy watch or suit. No, you don't need a fancy watch or suit, but you do need to look good. I picked up older women wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I completely agree with you. But if you're asking my opinion as to if you should wear shorts and a t-shirt in a nice restaurant, or, I mean, I'm talking about shitty shorts, like gym shorts. If you're wearing shorts in a ratty t-shirt and you're in a nice restaurant, I don't think you're going to get that girl. I really don't. I think no matter what great personality you have and everything, you're just not going to, it's not going to work 9 times out of 10 because you look like, I don't know, like a pig pen. But if you could wear just something nicer, just like something a little like that, maybe even of what you wear to work, if you work in an office or whatever, just wear a button down shirt even, just look a little bit older than someone's son. Have a burner's phone. Never give your phone number out to the first date. Why? And 69. Why are you going to play games? Yeah, you're right, Brian. If it's a sales job, it's one. I think he's just applying it to everything. Can I work on your landscaping? Thank God I don't have it. Hey there, kitty girl. Just because they can have an expensive car but have zero personality. Well, you're right. You got to have both. You could, and if you have a bunch of expensive stuff, yes, you can attract some gold diggers. But on the whole, I would say you're more likely to attract classier people if you're wearing classier clothes. That's the bottom line. I'm not at all superficial. I'm just telling you how it is. I would give my phone number out to anyone, Brendan. Okay. Let's see. Will you get shot down more times than that? You will get shot down more times than that. Okay. Is it a problem if you don't have a car? No, it's not a problem at all. That's why that's why God invented Ubers and Lyfts, right? Let's see. Any questions? I'm doing great right now. I'm just this weekend. What did I do all weekend? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Spend time with my father, and that's quality time. What else? Older women love me coming to do their yards, but they are married. I'm not surprised there. I mean, who wouldn't? Well, that's why young men don't understand that I'm not that man who will get used to young guys. Don't understand that. Ah, ha, ha. I'm not understanding what you're saying, but okay. What does that mean, God of War? You appreciate my effort? I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. Thank you for the compliments on my lips. It's not playing people are too nosy these days. You're giving great advice to guys like us. Oh, thank you. So I'm a little bit about myself. I'm writing a book right now, The Secrets to Dating Older Women. I have a podcast called Sex Talk with My Mom. If you guys haven't gone there, go to my Patreon page. If you're a patron, that's great. You can support me on Patreon of my podcast, Sex Talk with My Mom, because that is where I spend my most of my time and effort is on that because I love the podcast. It's a great dialogue between my son and I. It's funny. We interview comedians. I would love it if you guys listen to podcasts at all. Go check out Sex Talk with My Mom. I'll put it right here. Sex Talk. And guess what? We talk about sex. So subscribe over there on iTunes or on YouTube or whatever. I had an older woman drop her robe in her backyard on me. Yeah, you're that pool boy, the landscaper, and you're having fun. I love it. Hope to read it early as possible. Ian, I'm working on it. I'm working as fast as I can. I just have so much going on. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Badman Vegeta. I hit on a cougar this weekend at TJ Maxx, and the first thing she said was, I'm 51. LOL. Mind you, I'm 24. And she said she's dating someone. What does this mean overall? That means that she is A, unavailable because she's dating somebody, and B, decided that she's definitely flirty with you because otherwise, why would she continue the conversation? But the fact that she was 51, she's letting you know that she's probably not into younger men. However, I still don't think overall that could change. The fact that she continued the conversation instead of just blowing you off is meaningful. No, no one else can join this conversation because I told you what happened one time when someone started whacking off. So no, sorry about that. You like my pictures? If you like my pictures, Chandra, go to, and I appreciate you saying that and thank you. Go to patreon.com and you will see many more pictures. I put a lot of really good pictures on Patreon that you don't see here on Instagram or YouTube. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Good morning to you guys. Jack Ripper. Do older women love wine tasting? This older woman does. I think it's a great call. I think wine tasting is absolutely, almost every older woman is going to be like, at least maybe not a connoisseur of wine, but maybe she would like to try it. And it's a real great way to interact and have fun. So I would go to wine tastings, you guys. God of War said, as far as the guy in Batman and Exit, he was shut down. Never, you know what? Don't take it personally. She doesn't know who you are. As in, when young guys who have money and get used by someone they think they love or having feelings with. So if you have money and you're young and you feel like some people are using you just to go out on a date to get a free meal or all that kind of stuff, it could happen. Hey, Paul, thank you for the super chat. You're so sweet, Paul. Paul is one of my patrons on both my KarenLee Potter and on Sex Talk with My Mom, and I want to thank him. If you want to super chat me, at the very bottom there's a little $sign. You could super chat me, and I will answer your question first. So, Paul, if you got a question, you ask it right here. Should I wait for her to ask me again for sex, or should I be the one to ask again? We are friends with benefits. I must have missed the earlier question, but okay. So you have a friends with benefit relationship. You had sex. Should I wait for her to ask again, or um, if you guys have already had sex and you have a friends with benefits relationship, I would go for it. I would just say, hey, I'd like to see you again, and see what she says. And if she's not receptive, then I'd wait for the next time. Okay, Aunt 69. Nosy these days was a follow up to have a burner phone. People want to know how your social life is. That is why we should use a Google number for first dates. Um, you know what? I have found that when I was single and I gave my number out, a lot of times I'd get annoyed by 2 in the morning phone calls by these guys. So yeah, you got to be careful with who you give your phone number out to. But maybe a Google Voice number isn't a horrible thing. On the other hand, if someone calls you and annoys you, you can always block them. Let's see. Francis Ford Coppola wine is on sale now if you're interested. Paul, I love the Holly Randall episode that she just released. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so Holly Randall is a porn erotic film. She's a porn director, producer, and my son and I were on her podcast recently. It's called Holly Randall Unfiltered. And if you haven't gone to Holly Randall Unfiltered, check her out. You'll hear the latest episode is with myself and my son, and we talk all about our lives. And we had a lot of fun with her. Thanks, Paul. The Cougar at TJ Maxx made eye contact with me like 15 times and smiled as we were shopping. Why would she do such a thing if she's actually dating someone? Good question, because dating doesn't mean married, and also married doesn't mean you can't still flirt. I say just keep at it. Bad man, you never know. And I'm saying go for it. Worst that can happen is, you can hand her your phone number and say, hey, if things change here, call me. And she might call you. You never know. Josiah, how can I talk one-on-one? I really would love to tell my story, like a conference call or something. I truly believe I can help. How you can help me or with a book or whatever, just join me on Patreon, patreon.com/KarenLee. Yeah, I'll put it here. Here. Let's see. How come you don't have guests on here anymore? Because I just haven't had any time. I probably should have more guests on again, but I have 400 or more videos with guests. So I'm sure that there's so much material out there that you can watch already. That if you want to see me interviewing porn stars, it's out there. And if you want to see me interviewing doctors or lawyers or whatever, they're out there. So yoga instructors, astrologers, I've interviewed them all. So there's very few people I haven't interviewed in certain, in different types of careers, etc. So if there's someone really interesting though that I haven't had a chance to interview, I usually put them on Sex Talk with My Mom, the podcast. I never give my number out. I give a business card with my work cell phone. Best way to look professional. Also, if she calls, must be a reason after you gave her a card. Oh, that's a good call. I mean, yeah, try giving out a business card. But I don't know if you'd want people calling at work either. So that's another thing. Do you work out such as yoga? You got it. Aunt 69. Yoga is my thing. Guess most of the Cougars in my